You guys like the new haircut? I look like I just missed the bus to the state mental institution.
Where's my helmet?
Sometimes when I'm really bored, I go to like 7-Eleven and stand for that dude for like an hour. That's a stupid question. You make the Slurpees all by yourself?
I do offensive jokes, and I don't care if you're offended. I don't like to be rude. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I'm going to talk about some subject matter that you only think about. That's my goal as a comedian, to actually bring some of those things to life. I like to touch on race. I like to touch on politics. I like to touch on marriage, dating. And some of those things might be taboo to somebody, but some of it is things you were thinking and you would never say. So I'm going to say it. You're going to go, you know what? I wish I could have said that.
And there was like some kid in the front row, and he got really nervous, and he offered the guy, "Hey, I'll give you $500 if you take your kid out." And the guy said no, and the audience started booing because he was some like high roller dude, you know. And so when he took the kid out to go to the bathroom, he started cheering, and the Dana Carvey started going, "So anyway, these firefighters are, you know, butt fucking up the ass, you know." So I tell you, everyone's going, "Yeah," you know, because people think when you're on TV, oh, he's always like that, but it's totally different when you're on stage.
I like offensive jokes. Too offensive doesn't work for you. And if you could learn a certain finesse, the audience won't get offended. Or if they know they're coming to see a certain type of show, like no one got offended at a Sam Kinison, you know, after he was famous.
Sam Kinison was a friend of mine, you know, growing up. He was foul, but he was hilariously funny.
I love offensive jokes, and I think the people that get offended by them, they're punks, man. It's like our country has just become so politically correct that, you know, people are standing waiting to be pissed off. They're just waiting around. You know, sometimes you say something that, you know, it's not that bad. You know that they didn't mean it, but somebody can take it, and then you got Gloria Allred, and you got lawyers suing and all that stuff. And people should just be able to take a joke. Some of the stuff, if it's wrong, then you check them on it. But some of the stuff is just, it's not that bad. And I think people are just waiting to be offended, but they need to get over it. But I love offensive humor. As long as it's not directed to me, I get pissed off. But, you know, I'm a hypocrite that way. Don't bring that stuff to me. I'm not having it, but do it to somebody else.
Right. Well, everybody has a right to be offended. You have whatever you believe in. Like if you go on a cruise, I work cruises. I'm working for families, little kids, teenagers, parents, grandparents. I don't want to. If I can work clean and entertain somebody for an hour, what's wrong with that?
They're probably the kind of people that take everything way too seriously, and they've never, the kind of people that read the paper but never experience the world. You know what I mean? Like there's millions of people that never go out of their house and experience the world through the newspaper and some kind of weird news source, and they're not part of the world, they're just observing.
Yeah, fuck them.
But then there's other people that come out that are filthy for being just for being filthy. And it's, you know, everybody sees it. You sit in the audience and somebody's going F this, F that, F that. It's not funny. It's not integral to the humor.
I'm not a big fan. You mean racial stuff and like sex stuff? No, I'm not a real big fan of that. I think you could be more clever, and you don't have to stoop to those levels.
They shouldn't go see those type of comics. Most comedy clubs, including here, they put like a warning sign. Hey, there's going to be you know, it's like, you know, if you're offended by if you think Pat Boone is rock and roll, and you think the Keebler elves are hip, don't go to the show.
I would say comedy is...
You won.
Yeah, it's tragedy. It's laughing at tragedy, for the most part. It's laughing at the truth. Nobody wants to hear the truth anymore, so... It's always been kind of a to the rules, you know? It's always been like, hey, you know, you guys are taking yourself too seriously, and people do, and they're miserable, and I don't think, you know. So to me, comedy is a big fuck you to people that take life too seriously, basically.